All right, here we are. Martin. Dude, what's up, Martin? First in chat. How you doing, man? Great to have a stream. It feels good. We did a little bit of a Q&A last night, which was pretty fun. I was going to wait until today to come back from the break, but I was just impatient. Last night I felt like streaming. So we did do a little bit of a Q&A last night if you want to check that out. But yes, it does feel good to be back to the streams. First in chat, what's up, Martin? Hola, beautiful people. What's up, UK? Welcome. Tonight, guys, we're going to be talking about triggers, right? We're going to be talking about the fact that your objective is not to try and eliminate your triggers, right? And this particular stream is kind of, I guess you could say, inspired by the Q&A that we did last night. So, should be a good one. What is up, Trish? What's up, Crystal? Welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome. It is a rainy, stormy night for me here, so a rainy, stormy night. But we are here, and some of my favorite kind of weather, actually. How is everyone doing? Welcome, welcome. We'll get started in just a bit. I should probably send out some notifications. Let me see here. I know the bot does it for me, but I don't trust the bot. I don't trust the bot personally. Personally. What's up, Tony? What's up, Sarah? Welcome, guys. Welcome. Welcome. We'll give it just a few minutes and then we'll get started. Allow people some time to get in here. How are you doing, Trish? Ugh. Got triggered last night. My silly want to peek my head. What? I got triggered last night. My silly want to peek my head. I got bad and hit myself out of frustration. Feeling a little better. Divorce is over last week. Nice. Freedom. Yo, what, bro? How you doing? What's up, Mickey? Mikey? I think it's Mikey, right? Not Mickey. How are you doing, Crystal? Let's see how many people we got in here. We might be able to go ahead and get this one started, maybe. I am drunk, sorry. Alright guys, let's go ahead and, I'm not drunk, that was a comment that I was reading. Let's go ahead and get this one started, shall we? Let's go ahead and get this one started. Anxiety recovery, you're not trying to eliminate the trigger, right? You're trying to overcome it. Let's get this music out of here so we don't have to fight and try to talk over that the whole time. All right, there we go. So, like I said, guys, this stream that you are seeing tonight is inspired by the Q&A that we did last night because we had some really good questions last night, and a lot of those questions were kind of revolving around the fact that people are experiencing triggers and how can they get over these triggers, what can they do about these triggers, you know, so forth and so on. And I noticed that there is a fair amount of people who still believe that in order to recover, that in order to heal their nerves, they have to find a way to eliminate their triggers, right? Which at first seems like the logical route to go, right? If you are triggered by something, then you should find a way to eliminate that trigger. But really, if you think about what that is avoidance. So we're not trying to eliminate triggers, we're trying to overcome triggers, and there is a big difference there. Now, this reminded me so much. Donkey, thank you so much, dude. I will address that as soon as we are done with our stream here. Thank you so much, Donkey. Show him some love in the chat. these questions about triggers reminded me a lot of my journey, because I'll tell you, the number one thing that held me back in my journey, like if I had a list of things, the number one thing that held me back on my journey, guys, was believing that I had to eliminate my triggers in order to heal. There was no sort of, at least at first, there was no mindset of I need to overcome my triggers. It was all a mindset of I need to eliminate my triggers. Now, an example of that would be, I think last night we had somebody in the chat who was mentioning that they get night terrors, right? And what I told her to her question is that we're not trying to eliminate your night terrors, so because that's out of our hands, right? That's out of our hands. So my answer to her was not that we're trying to eliminate your night terrors, but this amount of anxiety that you experience, right, before you go to bed or whenever you have an intrusive thought about night terrors, we can eliminate that by overcoming the trigger, by accepting the trigger, and as a result, overcoming the trigger in time. So you get what I'm getting at. We're not trying to eliminate your triggers. We're not trying to eliminate your intrusive thoughts. Of course, they will fade in time as you heal. But the mindset should never be, and does everybody see where I'm going with this? The mindset should never be, how do I eliminate my triggers? So how do I eliminate that intrusive thought? That is an impossible thing to do. That'll happen in time with healing. We don't come into it with the mindset of how do I get around this? Well, that's a big one. We don't come into it with the mindset of how do I get around this? How do I avoid this? How do I eliminate this? Because if you think about what that word means, I want to eliminate my triggers. That's the same as saying I want to avoid my triggers. So to heal somebody, right, to heal yourself, the question is not what can you do and how can you reorganize your life to where you never have to confront your triggers. If that's what you're attempting to do, if right now you are attempting to restructure your life in such a way that you never have to confront your triggers, then that is not healing. That is not the goal. So the question is not how do I re-sculpt my entire life around anxiety so that I can eliminate my triggers. That is not the goal. That is not what your mindset should be, right? Your mindset should be, how do I overcome my triggers? Not how do I avoid my triggers, not how do I eliminate my triggers, but how do I overcome my triggers? Because what happens is we do see people, right? It's very common. We do see people try to restructure their life around their triggers, right? Avoid their triggers. What happens is their life becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. How many people in the chat can say that they can relate to that? I know back in the day when I was trying to avoid my triggers, eliminate my triggers, my life just became smaller and smaller and smaller until I didn't have much of a life left, right? So many things I wouldn't do because I might confront a trigger, right? So many things, so forth and so on. And not only that, but mentally with these intrusive thoughts, because intrusive thoughts are triggers too, right? Intrusive thoughts are triggers too. You can't really do much to construct your life around those. You can't really do much to avoid those. So not only are you avoiding things in the real world because you're trying to restructure your life around anxiety, you're trying to eliminate the triggers, but you're also stuck dealing with intrusive thoughts that you're not willing to stop engaging with because you want to fight those away. So you're trying to fight away your mental triggers, and you're trying to restructure your entire physical life, your physical world around your triggers, right? So understand that the question will never be, how do I eliminate my triggers so that I can heal? That really doesn't make any sense, right? How do I eliminate my triggers so that I can heal? We don't want to eliminate triggers, right? We don't want to eliminate triggers. We want to overcome triggers, because then you're going to spend a very long time trying to eliminate triggers, and then one thing leads to another, and before you know it, you've eliminated this and you've eliminated that, and now you're trying to avoid this and you're trying to avoid that, and your life just continues to shrink and shrink and shrink. And there might be a special occasion where, like Kate in chat said, I don't really watch the news or social media because it just makes me uncomfortable. I don't watch the news either, right, because I find it pointless. That's a bit different because that doesn't affect your everyday life. If you've chosen to stop watching the news, it's not like you are going to be hurt by that, because that does not affect your everyday life. Now, when you stop doing things that are important to you because of triggers, that is going to hurt you, right? That is going to hurt you when you start trying to fight with every thought because you don't want to face that thought. You want to engage with it and try to figure it out. That is going to hurt you because you can't escape your thoughts, right? You have to face them. So there's a lot of instances where, if, for example, you quit watching the news, well, that's not going to necessarily make a big make or break difference in your life, right? But there's a lot of other instances where trying to, like, for example, fight with your intrusive thoughts or avoid certain things in life that are important to you, that is going to affect you greatly. That is going to affect your quality of life greatly, right? So it is never about trying to eliminate triggers. It's always, the question should be, how do we overcome triggers? Because if you set out on this great journey to try to eliminate all of your triggers, you're going to be doing that for a very, very, very long time. And again, not to mention, you can't eliminate the intrusive thoughts. That happens with healing. So, they come in and if you're trying to eliminate the trigger, that means you're trying to fight with the thought in order to get it to go away. And that's just going to backfire every single time. So the question should never be, how do I eliminate triggers? The question should always be, how do I overcome them, right? And if you've been here for a while, you know what the answer to that question is. How do I overcome triggers? I have to face them. I have to face them with acceptance, right? Now, if that triggers an intrusive thought, for example, you have to let that thought just talk, and you just have to let it come. You have to let it get sticky, and you have to let it cause you anxiety without trying to argue with it or fight it away or obsess about it. Just give yourself that accepting inner voice. Hey, let it burn. It is what it is. If it happens, it happens. And let that burn. It's going to take some time, but let that burn. So that is an example, okay, how you would overcome, let's say, an intrusive, obsessive thought, right? Now, let's say it's a worldly thing. It's something outside of your mental that sets you off. The question, again, should not be, how do I eliminate that? How do I structure my life to where I don't have to face that trigger? If you get into a habit of doing that, that's going to be a very difficult habit to break. The question should be, how do I overcome that trigger? So let's say you have a trigger that says, I'm afraid of, pull one out of the air here. I'm afraid to, let's say you're really feeling it. You've got a really tired nervous system. I'm afraid to even get out of bed, right? Well, you can't eliminate that. The question should not be, how do I eliminate that? Because that's just trying to do a bunch of mental obsession. That's not going to work. The question should be, how do I overcome that? And of course, my mic fell. And of course, to overcome that, you're going to have to start getting out of bed, right? So you see what I'm getting at? If you try to structure your entire life around your triggers, okay, you're going to just have your life end up becoming very, very small. Right. And again, I want to make clear there are certain circumstances, like let's say you cut out watching the news. That's not a huge deal. That doesn't affect your life every single day. That is a choice if you want to indulge in the news or not. But when it comes to big things, everyday things, right? Everyday things. When you are avoiding this or avoiding that, and you have structured your life around anxiety to try to get around your triggers, you have a mindset of trying to eliminate triggers. And we never want to ask, how do we eliminate triggers? We want to ask, how do we overcome triggers, right? Because here's the thing. You restructure long enough, your life gets smaller and smaller. You're always going to have the next trigger come and the next trigger come and the next trigger come. It's like they just keep coming, right? And when they keep coming, you keep trying to restructure, and you just get smaller and smaller and smaller. We never get a chance to heal. We never get a chance to gain confidence. We never get a chance to gain experience, right? So you really have to ask yourself, not how do I get around being triggered, not how do I get around this, not I should play it safe, I should do this, I should do that. You'll never get where you want to go with that mindset, right? Because you're not confronting your feelings with acceptance. You're not facing anything. You're not doing anything to prove to the brain that these false alarms are indeed false. And in fact, you're doing the opposite. Every time you avoid, every time you use a coping method, every time you use a compulsion, you are proving to your brain that your brain is right and that there must be a real danger. And so your life gets smaller and 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 smaller, right? So it's not how do I eliminate triggers, right? It's not how do I eliminate. You're going to be doing that for a very, 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 very long time, right? A very, very long time. If you keep avoiding, right? If you keep avoiding anxiety out of fear of anxiety, how will you ever learn about acceptance? So if your excuse is, I'm just playing it safe, how will you ever practice acceptance? How will you ever get to the point of being able to face your anxiety if your excuse is, I'm just playing it safe until my nerves feel a bit better? I understand that in some circumstances, right? Don't try to tackle the world all in one night. Obviously, that's, obvious. I understand that you don't want to, like Red said, don't go quote unquote too hard. Like, I get that, go at your own pace. I always say go at your own pace. I understand all that. But my point is, if you're doing absolutely nothing to face your triggers, if there's no sort of work going on mentally, if you're still fighting with all of your thoughts and your feelings, and you're still trying to avoid your triggers, and you're still trying to argue with every thought, and you're still trying to avoid everything that's in your reality, how will you ever get where you want to be? How will you ever prove your point to the brain? So don't get me wrong, I totally understand that. I say it all the time. I say it at least once in every single stream that I do, just about, that it's okay to go at your own pace. I always say that your goal is to not try to take over the world in one day. I understand all of that. Don't get me wrong. I completely get all of that. But my point is, the question should never be, how do I get around my triggers? That's not what we're going for, right? That's not what we're going for. If you have that mindset, well, then you're never going to overcome your triggers. That's just logical, right? If you have the mindset of, how do I avoid my triggers? How do I eliminate my triggers instead of how do I overcome my triggers? Then how are you going to get where you want to be? So yes, you're allowed to go at your own pace, right? And no, the objective is to not try to take over the world and, all in one day, right? These things are obvious. The objective is, each day can I do a little bit better? Each day can I practice a little bit more? I don't want to try to avoid my triggers. I want to try to learn how to overcome them. I want to practice this skill. I need this skill, right? So don't try to structure your life to avoid everything. Don't try to continue to fight with your thoughts in order to make them go away. It's time that you face them with non-engagement. Just allow them to be there and don't fight with them. Don't argue with them. Don't add a ton of worry to your thoughts and feelings. This is facing, and this is a skill that you absolutely must practice, because here's the other thing. It's ironic, and I totally agree with Red when she says, you don't have to go too hard, go at your own pace. But here's the thing. You've got people out there, and this happens every single day. You've got people out there who are fighting with every thought that pops into their mind. And of course, this applies to physical triggers too. I'm just giving an example. You got people out there who fight with every single intrusive thought that comes to their mind. They engage with it. They obsess about it. They try to figure it out to try to get that quick relief, right? And you ask that person, why are you continuing to fight with every single intrusive, sticky thought? And they'll say, well, I can't do the work right now. I'm taking it easy. But what they're doing up here is making it 10 times worse. So it's very ironic. People will say, I'm just taking it easy. I can't do the non-engagement work. That's what we call it, the accepting inner voice. I can't do the non-engagement work right now. Every thought that comes, I'm fighting with it because I can't do the work right now. But the irony is, they're making it 10 times worse. They think they're taking it easy because their nerves are too tired to do the work, but they're the ones making the nerves tired. They're making it 10 times worse. So it's like, it's the same concept as someone saying, I know I'm supposed to be resting my broken ankle right now because it's swollen and it hurts, but I don't feel like it right now because my ankle hurts. And then they're just jumping up and down on it. Yeah, I'll rest in a little bit, right? Smashing that broken ankle into the ground. I'll rest in a little bit. I'll do the work in a little bit, but right now I'm in too much pain to do the work, so I'm gonna just keep bashing my fucking ankle against the ground, right? Doesn't make any logical sense, does it? Right? Doesn't make any logical sense. So that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate when you see people who say, I'll do the work later when my nerves are a bit more healed. They're never going to become healed because you're not doing the work, right? You see what I'm saying? Now, again, I'm talking about the mental, not fighting with your thoughts and feelings. This is what heals your nerves. But I do agree with comments like Red, for example, that says, you don't have to take over the world in one day. You can go at your own pace. You don't have to climb Mount Everest, but you should be doing that mental work regardless. And you should never be asking the question, how do I avoid everything? Right? So I understand it's okay to go at your own pace, but at the same time, if you're not doing the work because you've got this attitude of, I'm too tired, my nerves are too tired to do the work, well, then your nerves are never going to rest up enough for you to feel better, so it doesn't make any sense, right? Does that, everybody see what I'm saying? Doesn't make any sense. So yes, go at your own pace, but you should always be doing the mental work, not fighting with those thoughts and feelings. That's what's going to help your nerves feel better. You should always try to face certain triggers, but that's where we say, go at your own pace. You don't have to climb Mount Everest tonight, So everybody gets what I'm saying. There is a balance. Go at your own pace, but you should always be doing that mental work. Go at your own pace, but every now and then, yeah, maybe you should face some triggers, right? It's up to you, but you get what I'm saying. We don't want to ask the question, how do we eliminate triggers? We want to ask the question, how do I overcome triggers? So, that was a good little mouthful there. Anyway, I think that's all I have to say for this one, guys. Thank you for all of your excellent comments. Thank you for your opinions. Thank you for your insights on this topic. I hope it maybe has inspired somebody to say, you know what, he's right. I should get to work because, as I sit here every day and fight with my thoughts and feelings, I'm not getting any closer to healing. I'm sitting here trying to fight with every thought in hopes that those thoughts will leave, and he's right, they're not leaving. Maybe I have to face them and stop engaging with them, right? I hope that this stream has woke somebody up to that truth, to that realization. That was really the goal of tonight's stream, is that it's time to stop fighting with your thoughts and your feelings, and instead of trying to avoid those thoughts by fighting with them, which has just kept you where you are, maybe it's time to accept those thoughts and allow that anxiety to burn. Or maybe instead of avoiding that thing, you should do that thing, or so forth and so on. So and of course, the brain that fires a certain way will rewire it. Yes, I love it. I love it, Red. But again, I also want to end this point by saying I do agree with comments like Red. Go at your own pace, but you should always be doing that mental work. You shouldn't be trying to avoid thoughts. You should accept, stop engaging. That's what's going to make you feel better in the long run. And yeah, go at your own pace as far as facing certain triggers in the outside world go, right? But maybe one day it's time, right? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. We shouldn't ask, how do I eliminate, but how do I overcome, right? I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching tonight's stream. If you did enjoy it, please leave a big thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. We've been gaining more subs this month than we did last month, so it's pretty exciting stuff. We'll go ahead and just turn this music right back on. Hopefully no ads. There we go. And with that, guys, let's go to the post stream. Let's hang out. If you guys got any questions, feel free to ask them. I'm going to take a big stretch. I'm happy with that one. What's up, Style Alert? What's up, Sarah? What's up, Donkey? Donkey, thank you again, dude, for the $5 tip. Says, Wonder Bro is not drunk. Yes, I was just reading a comment. I am not drunk. Thank you so much, Donkey, for the $5 tip. If you would like to contribute to tonight's stream, the link is in the description, or you can use one of these things right here. Thank you so much, Donkey, for the $5 tip, dude. I really appreciate it. Good point, bro. Missed the beginning, but I'll rewatch later. It's okay, Elliot. No problem, dude. I wonder, bro, I got myself out of sensitized state about a year ago, but I still get flash anxiety over certain triggers. How to not care when deep down inside I do care. Well, it's not necessarily about how do I force myself to believe something, right? It's just about not adding second fear. I'm not adding second fear, but I get scared as well. Well, you're supposed to be. That's part of first fear, right? So I want you to understand that, Solid. It's not about doing it not afraid. It's about doing it afraid and not adding to it. Does that make sense? I hope that answers your question. Yeah, guys, it's not about how do I do it not afraid. It's about I do it afraid, but yet I'm still not adding second fear, right? That's what it's about. That's what it's about. It's not about doing it not afraid. That is not the objective. You have to be afraid. Anxiety learns while anxiety is turned on, right? Yo, Wonder Bro in chat, what's up, Winning? How you doing, dude? Welcome. Welcome. I am pissed. 4 beers. I'll send you that Discord link after you sober up. What's up, Gamer? What's up, Elliot? We got Gamer in the chat. What's up, Ava? How you guys doing? Oh, nope. Now we got an ad. We got a Taco Bell ad, actually. We got a Taco Bell ad. Interesting. I could go for some Taco Bell right now. Thank you again, Donkey, so much for the $5 tip, dude. I appreciate you. Oh, absolutely, Style Alert. Anxiety learns while anxiety is turned on. It's not about doing it not afraid. It's about doing it afraid and not adding to the problem, right? AKA second fear, AKA engaging with every thought and feeling and fighting with every thought and feeling, so forth and so on. Helpful to overcome anxiety, especially for people who are sensitized. So vagus nerve stimulation. Vagus nerve is the nerve in your body that is responsible for rest digest, right? It plays a big role in the rest digest process. When you live life, you are automatically by default stimulating that nerve. So that is why live life is one of the two main keys. Do things you normally do. Do things that you enjoy. Behave as if you're already healed. So you're basically already doing that. Now, exercise, I don't have a lot of personal experience with. Does it look like I have a lot of personal experience with exercise? We got the fucking double chin, dude. Does it look like I have a lot of personal experience with exercise? So I don't know. I've heard that exercise helps in stimulating, the vagus nerve, but I personally didn't do much exercise at all. Am I saying it's a bad thing? Absolutely not. I think it's a great thing. It's just I didn't do it. It's not necessary, like, to heal. You get what I'm saying? It's kind of like a personal choice sort of thing. Would it hurt anything? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But did I go that route? No. Fuck that shit, dude. I don't want to exercise. I don't want to exercise. But it would be great if you did. It would be great. I can't knock it, right? I can't knock it. Let's see. So I knew you was in the right track for the most part. Like you said, nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect at this. I was eating like a horse, and now I'm back to almost zero appetite. Pissed me off. You're going to have ups and downs, right? But anxiety learns while anxiety's turned on. So that's the thing. If you keep that mindset and keep moving forward, you'll get back to where you was. But you can't let the ups and downs freak you out. You can't let the ups and downs say, oh, I'm doing something wrong. As long as you're not fighting, you're fine. You're fine. Ups and downs are going to happen. Ups and downs are going to happen. They are going to happen. They are going to happen. All right, guys, give me just a second. We'll be right back. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask those right now. I'll answer them as soon as I return, okay? All right. So much love, so much love. I love to see it. Thank you guys. I missed the point. The stream will be uploaded. Don't worry about it. It should be there. You can always watch it back. I missed the notification. Ah. Come on, folks. Let's get Wonder Bros tips up today. Hey, man, I appreciate you rallying the troops, Donkey. It's totally optional, but yeah, if you guys would like to support the stream, link is in the description. Every symptom, thought, or feeling is just another opportunity to teach the subconscious something different. Yes, something different being your new accepting mindset, your new accepting approach, right? Your new accepting attitude. It's all the same thing. It's what you tell yourself. It's what you tell yourself. Ride the wave, right? Ride the wave. Do you think Eckhart Tolle has useful anxiety info? How do you feel about him? I love Tolle. I love Tolle. I used to make videos, but the problem is people that are sensitized, they latch on to these things way too hard. Way too hard. They latch onto these things and they tell themselves stuff like, what does the present moment mean? And how do I clear my mind? And then they try really hard to clear their mind, which is impossible. And then they start really fighting and then they get more worked up. So I don't mention Tolle a whole lot. Do I think it's beautiful information if you can correctly digest it and understand it? Absolutely. Do I think it's necessary to watch Eckhart Tolle videos if you're watching my streams? Not necessary. Not necessary, because I'm telling you everything that you need to know in an easy to understand fashion. Do I think Tolle is great if you attach it on once you are able to understand it and digest it? Yes. Do I think you should go that route now? It's up to you. I don't want to tell you no when actually you learn a lot from it or something, right? Then that would be my fault. I don't want to tell you no, but I'm not going to tell you it's necessary either. So, yeah, he just uses a lot of terms that sensitized people obsess about, which is funny because that's kind of the opposite of what we're trying to do here. We're trying to keep things simple, and we're trying to... Thoughts come, and you're just the observer, you're just the witness, and you use the accepting inner voice, let it burn, and you're not engaging in a fight with it. You're just saying, hey, let it burn, and you're living your life, and that's the two main keys right there. That's going to heal you. If you're using the two main keys, you might as well be using Tolle's advice, basically. It's more or less the same in a way. So you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? That's why I don't mention people like Tolle and Moji a whole lot on the channel like I used to. Because just like Kate said, I completely agree with Kate. Tolle is great and all, but he's a little much if you're sensitized, because you can easily obsess. You can easily obsess over that. So I hope that answered your question, Winning. I hope that answered your question. But absolutely, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of those guys. It's just... You know, that's up to you. It's up to you. How you doing tonight, Kevin? Welcome to the stream, dude. Hope you're doing fantastic. Hope you're doing fantastic. Trying to adjust my mic without ripping the cord out here. That would be wonderful. Wonderful. Oh no, you're good, Elliot. It's optional, dude. You don't ever put extra stress on yourself worried about being able to tip. No, it's optional. It is optional. I always say that I appreciate your simplicity. Find him relaxing. Oh no, he's great. Yeah, again, don't get me wrong, he's great. I love him. I love his message. It's all good stuff. It's just I don't bring it up a whole lot because again, it can be very confusing for a sensitized person. So that's the only reason I don't. It's not that I have anything against Tolle. I love Tolle. I love Moji, Alan Watts. I love all that stuff. It's just yeah, it can be a bit confusing. Come to the realization that sensitization is like a minefield, your thoughts being the mines I tiptoe around, hoping not to latch onto something. That in itself is a scary part of this. Yeah, you should always just accept and embrace the fact that you're probably going to latch. Your mind's going to latch onto something, meaning it's going to send you these intrusive thoughts, and one of them might become very sticky. And you should always expect and sort of accept that that's probably going to happen. But at the same time, you should build your confidence levels, right? You should build your confidence levels in the fact that you are not going to engage or fight with it because you know what's going on, right? So that is the attitude you want to practice. That is the attitude you want to practice. It's easy to be a little paranoid, right? trying to force myself to be in the present. Yeah, it's not so much about force as it is just gentle practice of non-engagement with thoughts, right? Non-engagement with thoughts. So only anxiety won't kill you. Mine will. Yeah, there you go. That's the big difference right there. That's the big difference right there. Yeah, Alan Watts is definitely not for everybody. I've made it through a bunch of sticky things so far. It definitely builds confidence. It does. It does. Confidence is important. Dr. Claire Weeks mentions confidence a lot. A lot. Confidence is usually something that you gain slowly. It's not something that you're probably going to gain overnight. You're going to gain confidence through multiple experiences and exposures to things like thoughts, right? So it's a slow gaining of confidence, but it does add up. It does add up. Watts is a little more on the wild side, right? A little more on the wild side. There's certain things that he says, or certain ways that he words things that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to everybody. But I've been a long time student, I guess you could say. So I'm kind of able to read between the lines. But at first I felt the same way. At first I was like, nope, this is too wild, this is too creepy, and that's exactly how I felt at first. But after a couple years, I was like, wait a minute, now I get what he's getting at there. So it took some time. It definitely took some time, but that is certainly one individual I wouldn't recommend in the sensitized state. I got myself stuck to the fact that I was thinking every time I'd think and have a moment, my brain would go, that's a thought. That shit was annoying, but gone now. So you're just allowing whatever is to be, right? Without engagement, total non-engagement. That is the practice, to allow what is to be without trying to mentally do anything about it, right? Or physically do anything about it. Just that is the two main keys, right? In essence, right there. Live your life and stop trying to fight with your thoughts and feelings mentally. So you got it, dude. You got it. You got it. We got about 20 minutes left. About 20 minutes left, guys. About 20 minutes left. Wasn't it Weeks that said these are just thoughts and thoughts can't hurt you? She said don't be bluffed. Don't be bluffed by your thoughts. Don't be bluffed by your thoughts. Yeah, we try to keep things really simple around here, Donkey. Really simple. Really, really simple. And like I said, of course, there's nothing wrong with venturing off from this channel and taking in other information. That's totally your choice. There's nothing wrong with that. But I try to keep things really, really simple. To the best of my ability, right? It can work either way, Elliot. It can work either way, definitely. It can be a mixture of both. Doesn't really matter. Your goal's going to be the same, right? Your goal's going to be the same, so it doesn't really matter which way it goes. With that accepting inner voice, right, Mary? Not with a fight, but with that accepting inner voice. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ugh. Winning. Thank you so much, dude, for the $10 cash app, man. I appreciate you. Thank you, winning. Can we show some love in the chat to Donkey and Winning for their tips tonight, guys? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Show them some love in the chat. Show them some love in the chat. Thank you, Donkey. Thank you, Winning. I appreciate you guys. You guys help keep this show on the road, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Thank you. You guys are the best. Your mind can become your best friend. Yes. As long as you're not using it to fight with those thoughts and feelings, it absolutely can be. It absolutely can be. That's very flattering, UK. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. Thank you for the positivity. Thank you for the likes, guys. Appreciate all the likes. Appreciate all the likes. Thank you. So much winning. Starting to enjoy the sarcasm route when it comes to intrusive thoughts. I mean, anything works, right? As long as you're not fighting with the content and you're just kind of blowing it off like, I'm going to use sarcasm, accepting, inner voice, or as long as you're using non-engagement, a non-engagement response, right? Which is just a reminder to yourself that basically to leave it alone. It doesn't really matter what route you go. If you're starting to enjoy a little bit of sarcasm, then use a little bit of sarcasm, man. I mean, whatever keeps you out of a fight, right? That's all we care about. Whatever keeps you out of a fight, that's all that matters. It's not going to be comfortable. It's not a comfortable experience, but as long as you're not in a fight, then it will pay off, right? Not going to be a comfortable experience, but as long as you're not in a fight, it's going to pay off. Hey, I'm trying to read that name. And fully something. But anyway, regardless, $2 tip. Thank you so much for fully something. Laden? Fully, I'm not sure. Thank you so much for the $2 tip, man. I really appreciate you. Thank you. Show some love in the chat, guys. Show some love. Thank you. My last comment, does it sound like I'm on the right track? All I know is I'm way better than I used to be. I'm sticking with the 2 keys no matter what. I'm trying my best to do things I want to do. Absolutely, dude. Keep going that route. We are at 17 on the tip goal, guys. We're at 17 on the tip goal. Like right now, I'm swallowing a lot due to post-nasal drip, and my mind is stuck on it. So I thought to myself, what if you end up like... Jeez, man. Oh, boy. I said, well, looks like I'll have a new best friend. Hey, there you go. I love the sarcasm approach. I love the bit of humor. As long as you're not engaged in a fight, that's all that matters, right? That's all that matters. That one cracked me up a little bit. He's doing well, though. He's doing good. He's doing really good. The fear gradually, your emotions, etc., come down. Brain knows it has nothing to send. Absolutely, Elliot. Keep it up, dude. Keep it up. Keep it up, man. Keep it up. Hey, the Q&A from last night was really, really good. I recommend you guys check it out if you don't have anything better to do. I recommend you check it out if you missed it. We had a lot of good questions last night. I'm glad I did it. Yeah, that one got me a little bit. But he's doing a lot better. Very proud. Very proud. Can't do anything about the fact that I'm noticing a thing about it, so all I can do is just do the things I do and let my mind do what it wants. Basically, allow those intrusive thoughts, right? Allow whatever is in your experience to be without fighting with it. So when I stay busy, it's definitely not firing as high, but it's still there. But when I try to relax, it lights up like fireworks. Well, you become more aware of your thoughts at that point, right? Again, no, don't fight with them. Don't engage with them. Don't engage with them. That's definitely one way to look at it, gamer. That is one way to look at it. Yeah, it can tend to be a bit easier to do when you're busy, but of course you can't run around trying to be busy 24/7. So when the time comes that you can't be busy, like you're laying in bed, for example, well, you can still continue, and you should be continuing to practice not fighting, right? Kind of regardless. That should be your default sort of go-to practice, is the non-engagement. So, but yeah, I absolutely get what you're saying. It can become a bit more difficult when you don't have something to do, but that doesn't mean you should be running around trying to find something to do 24/7. It just means that when you don't have anything to do, you should still be practicing, absolutely should still be practicing non-engagement, right? Right. It's kind of like playing ping pong. I like it, UK. I like the analogy there. It's a good one. Wonder Bro approved. Wonder Bro approved on that one. Wonder Bro approved. Are you new to the chat, Mary? I don't think I've seen you here before. If you are new, welcome. A warm welcome from me to you. Welcome. Thank you so much again, Winning and Donkey and Fully. Thank you guys so much for your tips, man. I appreciate you. You guys help keep this show on the road. I don't know what I'd do without you guys. Thank you. All right, we're at about the 15-minute mark. So I'm going to go get my water. We're going to come back. We're going to finish strong. Any questions, feel free to ask those, man. Let's keep this thing going, right? And I'll be right back. All right. Wow, that is dark. That's kind of creepy. I was blinded. I was going to give my eyes a break. But that is so dark you can't see shit. Hold on. Hold on a second. If we just turn the brightness up just a little bit, maybe you can see me. Not really, but we're near the end of the stream anyway. What gives confidence is repeatedly seeing that whatever thoughts came didn't turn into reality, and even now the ones that'll come won't even as well, so let them be there. Well, they always change, they always mix up anyway, they always pass, so at least we can read the live sign now. The reason you haven't been able to read the live sign the past few streams is because when I use my actual ring lights and stuff, you can see it, you can read it, but the past few streams I've just been using the light that's in like the corner of my setup, which it's really shitty and you can't read the light. But I want to get a shade for these lights that I'm looking at so that I can use them again, so that you can see things better, like the live sign, for example. But until I get a shade, I don't use them as often. They're just blinding, dude. It's like sitting for an hour in front of the kingdom of heaven, dude. It's fucking, ugh, God, it's so bad. I need to get a shade for those. I just put OCD under the umbrella of anxiety, along with anything else: health, anxiety, panic disorder, OCD, GAD. Yeah, just under the same umbrella, right? Under the same umbrella. That way you have less to obsess about. Less to obsess about. This is all about non-obsession, right? Let me see. I don't think this would help, but we can try it. Did that make any difference, turning on all those lights? Probably not. Maybe a little bit. Come on. Ugh. That's disgusting. Disgusting. Just playing with the settings over here, don't mind me. To put it all under the category of sensitization is usually going to be your best bet, because it leaves way too much room for obsession. I've seen so many people over the years get caught up on labels. It happens all the time, all the time. Music's bumping. Does that mean it's good, or is it too loud? I think that I want to say that's on the post stream, Donkey. I want to say that's on the post stream. I think. If we didn't remove it, it's been a while. Labels made me worse. Oh yes I do. Yes I do. I'm glad you're over that phase. I am glad you're over that phase now. We got about 5 minutes left in this. 5 minutes left in this stream, guys. About 5 minutes. 5 minutes left in this stream. Maybe it was just that song, Elliot. Some are louder than others. Let me know if that is okay now. Definitely not trying to bust anyone's eardrums with the music. Oh, Claire. You're referring to Claire. Yeah, we haven't brought Claire around in a while. I forgot she was there. Do I still have her even saved on here? I don't think I do. I don't think I do. I think that was before you actually joined the channel, gamer. We used to have a bunny rabbit named Claire that we would bring on the screen anytime anyone was going down the rabbit hole. Yeah, I don't even see it saved anymore. We'll have to figure out what's up with that. Every now and then we change up the tip note sound, UK. Every now and then we change it up just to keep it fresh. It's probably because outside of streams you do more obsession, Elliot, so you have more questions. Does that make sense? That's probably what's going on here, if I had to guess. That's probably what's going on here. If I had to guess. I think Gamer just said it, right? Because it just leads to obsession, yes. It was funny, Claire would just pop up and would say, oops, looks like so-and-so is heading down the rabbit hole. Yes, yes, we always try to call it when we see it. We always try to call it when we see it so that hopefully we can pull that person out before they get too deep. Right? Is that common? I mean, I think you just do more obsession outside of the streams because you know, maybe that's an indicator that outside of the streams, when you don't have something to focus on or do, that you should just keep living and try to cut back on that obsession, even if we're not currently streaming, right? You probably have more questions outside of the stream because you're obsessing about the way that you feel. And that leads to questions. What would Wonder Bro say about this? What would Wonder Bro say about that? We'll have to find it again, Donkey, because I'm not even seeing it saved anymore for some reason. Why did I do that? Why did I delete Claire? I don't know. I don't know why I did that. All I know is that before severe sensitization, I wasn't like this, and less worry leads to me healing no matter the content. That's all I know. That's all you need to know, right? Get out of your head, realize you're not your thoughts, let go, detach from them, and focus on being in your body. That's what helps me. Being in your body, living life, right? Claire delete. Apparently, I don't even see it in the scenes, in the sources anymore. I don't even see it in the sources anymore. It will. You know, your tired nerves tend to follow you around, right, Elliot? But hopefully the skills that you're learning are following you around too. Hopefully the skills, right, the non-engagements following you around too. And that's the key, man. That's the key. Not to try to get away from the thoughts and feelings, because that's pointless. It's never about trying to get away from the thoughts and feelings. It's about trying to approach them in the correct manner. What is the correct manner? Acceptance, of course. Not engaging in such a big fight with those thoughts and feelings. Or as Gamer put it, befriending, making friends with your so-called demons. They're not really demons. They're just little pussycats, but you know, whatever you want to call them. I think I learned too much about the brain anxiety, double-edged sword. Well, if you're using that knowledge to obsess instead of using that knowledge to cut out obsession, then yes, you probably learned too much. But if you're using that knowledge to not obsess, then you're perfectly fine. All right, guys, we're going to be winding this one down in just a minute. Just a minute, we're going to be winding this one down. So let's see, is there anything I want to talk about? Any closing comments here? Not really, other than the fact that I've been on TikTok more often. We've grown a lot over there, so check me out over there. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. I am focused heavily on coaching recently, so if you're interested in coaching, get up with me. We'll talk about it. Is there anything else? Thanks for all the likes. I think I've ran through my list here of things to say. That's pretty much it. I'm on vacation right now where I get to play video games and practice things that will lead to a better life. Better not? Yeah, there you go. There you go. You fixed it. You fixed it. We'll accept that. We'll take that. We'll take that one. We'll take that one. But yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much gonna be everything tonight. So, with all that being said, thank you so much for watching tonight's stream. Where's the feeling of unsafety is coming from? Sorry for my bad English. I am from Germany. Where's the feeling of unsafety? So, fight or flight. Your fight or flight response. The fight or flight response keeps you in a sort of a state of feeling uneasy. Donkey, thank you so much. Donkey, thank you so much. Yes, fight or flight keeps you in that feeling of unsafety, but it is a false alarm. You are perfectly safe. Donkey, thank you so much for the $3 tip. Says, let's at least get you some Taco Bell money, Wonder Bro. Hey, I appreciate you, dude. Thank you so much. Yeah, we did lose our tip goal streak. It was like on 240 some days. And ever since we lost it, it's been an uphill battle. But that's okay. You know, these things happen, and there's nothing we can do about it. It's out of our control, right? So we just keep moving forward. We don't worry about it. It's nothing to worry about. We just keep moving forward. 240 some days, I think we were at. That is just absolutely insane, and I am forever grateful for that. But I do appreciate you, Donkey. I do appreciate you a lot. Thank you so much, dude. Yes, I wouldn't be here without you guys. So thank you so much for all that you do. Man, one more thing. I can't play video games with my buddies. When I feel good, I can. But when I'm like this, I can't. Should I force myself to play? Well, that's part of living, right? That's part of living. It's part of living, man. It is part of living. So, you know, you should never be making decisions based on what your anxiety wants you to do. You should always be making decisions based on what you want to do, right? Because you say when you feel like this, you can't do it. Well, it's not that you can't do it. That's the wrong wording. You absolutely can do it. You just choose not to, right? So there's a difference there. So people think, oh, I'm feeling anxious, I shouldn't do this. No, you're feeling anxious. That's a false alarm. That is an indicator that you should do it, right? That is an indicator that you should do it. So maybe that's where you're going wrong. You're allowing anxiety to make too many decisions for you. There's no such thing as I should play it safe with anxiety, because there's no danger. There's no problem, right? So there's no such thing as I should play it safe with anxiety. It's a false alarm. It's faulty wiring. In fact, it's a sign that you should do it, right? It's a sign that you should do it, all right? Let's see. Christian. I hope I'm saying your name right, dude. Christian, right? Christian. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but Christian, I think Christian, and let's see, Jennifer, Christian and Jennifer, I believe, both coming in with $30 tips right at the end. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. Can we show some love in the chat? Can we show some love in the chat, please? I want to see the chat blow up for a second. What does that take us to, like 80 out of nowhere? Thank you guys so much. I really, really appreciate it. You did not have to do that. You did not have to do that. Can we show them some love? Can we show them some love? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you, thank you. Like the kid from Even Steven says. I missed that show, by the way. Just do it. That is awesome. I feel much better. Thank you guys for that. I really appreciate it. Like I said, we were on like a 240 some day streak. It had to come to an end eventually. It's no big deal, right? That's life. Ever since we lost the streak, it's been difficult to get it started again, but at the same time, that is also life, and it's not the end of the world. That's just how life works. It's not a big deal. It's always been completely optional. So, but thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. We officially have started the streak back up. We are on a 1 day streak, and I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. So Christian and Jen and Jennifer, and let's see, Donkey, Fully, and I think that's everybody. I want to say that's everybody. I feel like I'm missing. No, Robert. And Robert, thank you guys so much. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, thank you. Let's see. Elliot, you don't have to do that, dude. Like I said, it's completely optional. It is completely optional. I've said that since day one. It is completely optional. I do not want anyone out there stressing over tip goal. I do not want anyone out there stressing over tip goal. The only reason I said that was because I wanted you guys to know that it's not a big deal, right? It happens. People lose their streaks. It's part of life, and it's not a big deal. So do not stress yourself. Please do not stress yourself over worrying about the tip goal. But I do appreciate it. It really does help me out a lot. So thank you for that so much. Remember, we all have setbacks in different ways. Just how you respond to it. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. It'll pick back up naturally. Yes. And thank you for saying that, Donkey. Thank you for saying that. Those who cannot afford to tip, do not feel bad. Do not feel bad. I am not one to get on here and worry too much about that. So do not feel bad, right? Your service deserves this money. I appreciate you, gamer. Thank you so much, dude. Yes, thank you guys. We have officially started back up on our 1 day streak, but thank you so much. I feel like that's everything. I think we have said, we have spoke our piece here. I think that's everything we needed to say. Thank you guys for an awesome stream tonight, man. I really, really do appreciate it. You guys are lovely. You guys are awesome. I'm sure I'll see you very, very soon in the next one, right? I'm sure I'll see you very, very soon in the next one. I think that's it, man. I think that's everything. If you're interested in coaching, get up with me. Let's talk. Let's work it out. Thanks for all the likes, all the support, all the comments, all the positivity. You guys are the best community that anybody could ever ask for. Thank you so much for all you do. Even if it's not a tip, even if it's just a like, even if it's just watching, even if it's just commenting, I want you to know that you are important to this channel and you help this channel grow, right? Thank you for all that you do. And until next time, as always, let's do it right here. Stay awesome. Bye.